are Confessional Magazine, and this is More to the Story, brought to you today by Iris and Bo, whose toner helps keep my laugh lines in check, because you never know what our guests are going to say. Visit irisandbo.com today and use code CONFESSIONAL for 20% off.
So much love in this heart of mine.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Confessional Magazine. I'm Taylor. This is More to the Story, and I'm here today with the wonderfully talented Jared Becker. Thank you so much for being here today, Jared.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So Jared is an actor, and he's also an accomplished military personnel as well. And we're going to get into his whole story because there is a new short film coming out called Reveille, and he is the star of it. And it also is a military journey that we just all need to hear the story. And I'm so excited to just unwrap all of this with you. So again, thank you for being here. And Jared, how did you get your start in the acting world?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna date myself here. I started 12 years ago in Nashville, Tennessee. That was my first agent signed me there, and I did like small background roles in commercials and tried to build up a catalog there. And then my agent, she opted to retire, and I was like, well, I could go to the East or West Coast and try to make it, right, as one does. But I opted to do something that gave me more life experience, so I could eventually, when I came back to it, I had the tool belt and the ability to do well. So I joined the military.
I mean, God bless. I mean, that's amazing. First of all, thank you for your service.
I appreciate it.
And so you went into the military, and I believe you went into the Air Force. Is that?
I did. Yeah, my grandfather was Air Force, and I kind of wanted to carry on that legacy within our family. And so I joined, and I was a Air Force intelligence sergeant from 2013 to 2019. And it was a wonderful ride.
Yeah. So that had to have brought you to so many new places and so many experiences that, you know, you went from already doing this like acting kind of thing, and then now you're out there and you get to see this world that you can then bring back with you when you join back into the acting world afterwards. So how would you say that your time in the military has affected your time now as like a civilian actor?
Yeah, the military acts as such a melting pot, and you get to, I'm from a very small town in Southern Illinois, and you only know that lifestyle if you stay there, and which is fine. That's for some people. It was never for me. I always wanted to be able to experience different cultures and get to know more of what's out there. And with the military and the Air Force allowing me to have that opportunity, I got to make friends and learn about places that I never would have been able to.
Mm-hmm.
And so taking that diversity that I've been able to be experienced and exposed to, I can take that into different situations and being like, okay, well, this is how I handled that. I got to watch my friends who are of different cultures work through this. So now I get to not take from it, but I get to just relive their experience, being as empathetic as I can be. And so it's really aided in the ability to connect with others.
Yeah, that's, I mean, one of my favorite words is empathy. So like, and like, it's, as an actor, that's what you, as a good actor, that's what the best actors have, is empathy, because then they're able to actually portray it in a believable way for the audience. So on that note, with Reveille, can you tell me a little bit about this film that's going to be coming out?
Yes. Okay. So Reveille is a short film based on chapter 4 of Audie Murphy's book that's called To Hell and Back. And we focus on a battle that happens, and it's very, there's a lot of explosions and war and all of that, all the fun cinematic things you have with a war movie in Hollywood, but it's very drawn back, and you peel back the layers of the onion of what happens psychologically to people when they're in war. And you look at both sides of the aisle, kind of the US soldiers and the German soldiers. And at the end of the day, you're just people, and everyone's just trying to do what they think is best. And you dig deep into it and be like, okay, why are they thinking this way? What's going on? And so it's fun to get to rehearse and try to practice, because it's like, okay, 1940s, what's going on? How do you process this? So this is a very good character driven movie.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm really
how big is
excited.
the cast?
So there's a large amount of us on both sides, from the German side and the US side. So it's a large cast, but it's not big enough where you get mixed in like too many storylines. There's a good like intricate amount of people, and you get to see different real life people. So it's wonderful.
I mean, it's great that these stories are still being told, because if people don't learn, I mean, I'm going to sound like whatever president or person ever said this, but if we don't learn from our past, we're doomed to repeat it, right? But
Exactly. Yeah.
It's almost like what you just said is synonymous with what's going on today. People are making different choices when it comes to like what they're following or thinking politically and across the board.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we need to get down to the heart of the matter, that we're all human. And,
yeah. And if I can piggyback, if I may, it's when you look at someone and I love that you bring that up in today's, political world where there's so many thoughts and opinions. It's like, that is someone's brother, father, son, daughter, sister. That is someone.
Mm-hmm.
And look at it that way. I just had this conversation with a family member about a very political topic that I won't go into. But it's like, you have to look at it this way. You have to put a face to the name and realize that they're doing something because they want a better life, not because they think we just want to disrupt yours.
Right.
So
same reason, we'll get off this, but I was going to say, same reason a mom would bring a baby across the border. They're not doing it to disrupt your life. They're doing it to, house their child. But anyway, we digress. So Reveille, how did you even get involved in this film?
Yeah, so Michael Ackerman, our wonderful writer and director, initially he was doing the casting calls, and I caught wind of it, and we spoke, and I was like, hey, I love your story you have going on here. I would love to be a part of it. And we worked at it, but then I'm booked for 3 other TV series that we're about to start filming, and scheduling conflicts were already set when we wanted to film in production for Reveille, and so I had to withdraw initially. And then time, went on, and I got this email from him and asking, is there any way we can make it work? He's still interested in me to do it. And I just, as a actor, or just as a person in general, like, you're interested in me? Like, yes, let's do. And COVID happened and delayed every production possible. And so I was like, I've got some free time. When are you shooting? What's going on? And it just happened.
Made it happen. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So in this, were the other series put on hold because of COVID, or have they been circled back around yet?
Yeah, I'm doing a pilot presentation in the spring of 2022. We're filming in Atlanta, and then I've got some other very big projects coming up.
This is very exciting. I'm so excited for you. So when you're auditioning, how do you get into your headspace to like get out there and just be like, I can do this? Or like, what is your go-to like headspace?
Oh yeah, I'm an emotional baby. And I'm a drama actor, and so I always go for roles where I'm either crying or I'm trying to make someone else cry. And because I was a resiliency training instructor in the Air Force, so I would always talk about being empathetic and never knowing what someone else is going through. And I love roles like that. So whenever I had the opportunity, the headspace I go into is, okay, what trauma can I get out of my head and deal with it? And
it's like self-therapy.
It really is. It really is. I think it was Emily Blunt who said that, and you brought up as well, a good actor has to be extremely empathetic to be able to know what someone else is going through. And I have just been very lucky and blessed to have gone through so much life experience, and over the last 28 years of things that I never thought I would do, being in the Air Force and being here in Hollywood. And so that headspace is really like, okay, this character has to deal with the loss of someone. Let's go through the Rolodex and find out what core memory I have that we can pull. And I always try to make it as authentic and natural as possible. So because someone else is going through that.
Mm-hmm.
And even with projects that I write currently, it's all about representation and how we can make someone feel seen. And so that's always in my mind when I'm doing a role.
So then I want to ask you, and just because I think mental health is such an important topic that people need to talk about it more, right?
Right.
Because everybody's dealing with it on different levels. How do you go into these roles and you're pulling from your Rolodex of these really hard memories, but like you're also human. So then at the end of the workday, how do you put that card back in the Rolodex and like say goodnight to it? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because it's so important for you as a human to like still look out for you and not just the role that you're playing.
Yeah, it's hard, honestly, and I hate that's such an actor thing to say, to be like, I have to be someone else and then get rid of it, because essentially people look at it like you're playing pretend, and they're right, we are, but you're convincing your mind to become someone else and your body to become someone else. So I remember I was doing a project that I wrote that was based off of a true story in my family, and I had to do this crying scene because we were mourning the loss of someone. So for 3 hours, I'm on the precipice of tears, and your body knows that your body knows that you are playing someone else, and your mind is like, are we? Like, and they're not connecting very well, communicating. And I went home, and I was just depressed, and I couldn't figure out why I was so sad. And I called one of my friends, my brand manager, and I was like, I'm just so upset. I feel like I want to cry. I don't know what's going on. And she's like, well, what did you film today? And I told her, and she's like, you have to mourn that loss officially. You sat in that mindset for so long. I was like, you're right. For 3 hours afterwards, I just cried to get it all out, because again, your mind and body aren't communicating. One or the other knows that something is fake and not real, but the other doesn't. And so it's taking that time to be like, okay, this isn't real. You are playing a character, and you need to let it go. And then it's different for everybody. Some people have to sit in it, some people don't. For me, I have to go through it and process those emotions.
Yeah.
And then do it all over the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but that's good that you're at least like acknowledging like that you have to go through these steps to like, go into character, but then like serve and then release at the end of it, So that's amazing. So you're also dropping all of these hints of all of your writing. What can you tell me about like that you have done or that you have currently going on?
Yeah. So I already wrote it, and we start principal photography at the end of this month on a film called Sorry for My Loss. That is a true story. And it looks at both sides of the same relationship and how someone can be happy and at the height of their career and relationship and think that everything's perfect, but the other person is internally fighting for their life and their mental health and their well-being. And it's just polar opposites. Yeah. And it walks through that. And so that was very cathartic to write, because I've been sitting with that emotion for so long. And I'm ready for that one to come out. We wrote the original song to it, which I was very lucky to get to sing with my co-write Steven. And then
and you sing too. Sorry. Look at this guy.
I do. Yeah. So we've got the song. I've been sitting on it for a few months, and I just want to release it, but you can't.
Right.
And so this movie will start hitting the festivals next in January for Cannes and Toronto and all the good ones. And then I'm currently writing a feature film that is based off mostly true events, called Anti-Bachelorette. And I love this movie because it's just erasing the stigma that women have to be sad and heartbroken because a relationship ended, and you can celebrate the loss and stand on your own 2 feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like I just got, look, I'm happily married, by the way, but like I am so many, like this resonates already.
Yeah. I wish I could show you my wall because there was sticky notes all over it to map out the storyline, and I'm writing the treatment and we're doing the script. And I just walked my friend through this, who it's about, and she's just like tears and of joy on the other end, like, this is amazing, like I can't wait. And I'm thinking that is the best validation as a writer that I can get, of being like, you love this and it's about your life, so thank you.
Whew, right.
Yeah, I was trying to scrap everything.
Throw it out. Let's try again. New friend.
Yeah, right. Yeah, new friend. Give me someone else.
Need new drama.
Right. So, but I'm very happy for this one, and that it's a good one to write. I'm very excited about it.
Oh, I mean, this is just so amazing. You have so many different projects going on. How do you manage it all?
I'm a project manager by trade. My
Oh, well, there you
master's
go.
degree is in project management. And so there's all these different flow charts of projects and timelines that I have going on. And it aids in me being a producer for projects as well. I was just talking to a producer because I'm filming a new medical show this fall. And as I tell you all these projects, I'm like, oh, I am stacking myself very deep in projects. How am I going to do it all? But
I wasn't trying to make you feel the pressure.
But I sit there, I'm like, okay, well, we're doing this show, we're doing the Audie Murphy project, I've got to finish the feature film, we have to film my film and all of it. But it's just having someone else tell me, like, this is what you're doing. It's like wonderful.
Yeah. Point me in the right direction.
I love having a good camp around me, of being like my agent, manager, like, you have to do this, here we go, and here's your audition. And then Diana, my publicist, like, you have to talk to so-and-so for so long. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Do it. Well, this is so incredible. And I'm so excited to have gotten to know you a little bit, Jared. And I can't wait to see all of these projects just come into fruition. And how can people follow you, and also, you know, an acting reel or your upcoming projects? How can people be in the know?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, Jared Becker 93, and all my updates for projects go there. And then I'm on IMDb. People can see demo reels there and all the projects that are coming. And I feel bad because next year it's just going to be like so much of my face in media, because with all these projects are coming out at the same time. So I'm so sorry for anybody who has to look at it.
Do not apologize. Do you know how many people there are in the world? You know what I mean? Like, don't apologize, because the right person's going to see it. So don't ever apologize for getting yourself out there. That's exactly why you're doing what you're doing. So I always like to ask this question, your 5-year plan, or not even your plan, but, oh, I thought my dogs were going to go completely wild.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
This is the perks of like doing this from home, you know?
Right.
But so you're not only just like your goals, but your dreams for both your personal and your career life. Like, where do you see or hope to be within 5 years? Because I'm going to check back.
Oh, perfect. Okay, let's do this. Let's do an interview every year so we can track it.
Oh yes, we'll make a little comic book, like a little flippy.
Yes. Professionally, in 5 years, I just want to keep telling stories that matter and resonating with people with everything I write, because there's always an underlying reason of mental health in my projects. So if I can, as my career has been growing at the rate it has been, I just want the projects to grow as well, and to get on those levels that they have been at. And I've been able to work with one of the biggest directors in the world and get to talk to him and just kind of pick his brain about how we got to this level. And I like following that same career trajectory, and just do something that matters and make my family proud is all I want to do. And that kind of ties into personal in 5 years, is I want my family to be able to look back and like, oh my gosh, he didn't stop. He kept going, and he believed in himself even when nobody else did. And he's making it happen. And
that's so inspirational for, you know, you're a young guy and you've already accomplished so much, and it's because you've stuck with it. a plan that you've made, you've seen through every plan, whether it means somebody's there in your corner saying, hey, be there at this time. You've stuck with it. And like, that's what it takes to like be great in life. And what I mean by be great is just to be happy and make other people happy.
Yeah. And I was doing an interview a couple of weeks ago where they're like, what advice do you have for new actors? And my biggest thing was believe in yourself, because how are other people going to believe in you if you don't?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you've seen the show Hacks with Jean Smart.
Yeah.
And I love it. And she had a wonderful quote in the scene where the car breaks down in the desert. She's waiting on her helicopter. And she says, being good in this industry is the bare minimum. You have to work hard. And even if you work hard and you're the best and you're lucky, it's still extremely hard. And you have to work every single day. Mm-hmm. And I remember listening to Lizzie Olsen talk about this in an interview when she was in drama school. If I could work with anybody, it's Lizzie Olsen.
I love Lizzie.
Right. And with side note, I was going to name my film Sorry for Your Loss, but she already took that for her Facebook Live, for her Facebook thing. I was like, oh, sorry for my loss.
My friend actually works on that show.
No, I love it.
It's like this small, yeah.
But sorry for my loss. But Lizzie was like, I rehearse 8 hours a day for a 2-minute scene. And even yesterday I just did a audition for a new network show, and I spent 8 hours rehearsing for a 2-minute scene. I was like, you have to work really hard and believe in yourself when no one else does.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. You make me happy and smile, and I don't know.
Thank you.
This has been a nice little chat to get to know you better, Jared. And I can't wait for everybody else to just see your work, because there's gonna be a lot of it coming, and we're ready. It's like, what's Santa bringing for Christmas this year? It's Jared Becker.
It's Jared Becker's films. Yeah. Oh God, thank you so much.
Jared, this was lovely talking to you, and I just wish you all the best success in all of your endeavors, and just everybody needs to follow him and just stay tuned with everything that he's up to, because you're gonna just want to be following this guy, because he's the next guy with a good head on his shoulder and the skills to back it up.
Yes, thank you so much. I look forward to talking to you soon.
Yeah, we'll chat soon. Thank you so much.
Of course. Bye.
So much love in this heart of mine.